35 Bartholomews Road. 41 was the last house, and then there's still a gate there now going into a little park, but that was eventually banned for us because the army put, I don't know what the hell they put in it, but it was locked. We couldn't go in there to play. There had something to do with it, gunnery, but I think if they'd have fired any shots, all the houses would have disappeared. And that was Wilmot's farm,
right,
just there. And there was apples, it was a big apple orchard. I was very friendly with the grandson, Billy Wilmot, used to live at 19, and we used to go there, and his gran, as it used to live there, used to give us a big bowl of fruit for Christmas. Then I worked a short while in Bartholomews Road. The other Wilmots also had a shop there, and I worked there for a little while, but as I say, I left it. Where you got a big estate. Yeah. They used to repair the aircraft there, the damaged aircraft, and the Tiger Moss mainly. And on one occasion, a walrus, which is a flying ship, plane came in. If you know what a walrus, it had one engine on the wings at the back. Right. And that came into land. That was quite caused by the. Bailey Road was there. We used to walk. I used to have to walk from Bartholomews Road. You could walk to St Christopher's, where I used to go to school, and we used to go through the farm because it was a shortcut. Wow. But you could go around. And we used to walk home at lunch and then walk back again in the afternoon. Wow. I mean, the kids today, if you tell them you had to walk from Bartholomews Road to St Christopher's, which is there was Temple Cowley School at the bottom, and St Christopher's. And you tell them that they had to walk there, walk home for lunch, and then walk back in the afternoon, then walk home again. Like, children wouldn't do it, but we used to do it, think nothing of it, and play marbles on the way to school, you know, and get to school, filthy hands. They used to keep a big horse amongst the used to tow the truck and that, and you know, the cart, you know. Yeah. But us kids were a bit frightened of it, but many a time we've gone through there and we've climbed. Because it's decided it will have a look to see who we were, so we used to go for a tree at the way. It was Bill Wilmot and Kitty Wilmot, they were brothers and sisters, lived at 19. We used to have a policeman live, and Archie Jarvis and Derek Harris both went to the Tech at that time. They were a little bit older than us. Archie Jarvis lived there, Derek Harris lived there, Douglas White lived there. Very good with his hands, good car. We used to go across to the scrapyard and pick up the plastic, what they called it, from the aircraft, and he could carve it and used to make, you know, terrific. He was a bit older than us, I was about 13, I was about 14, but he was terrific, you know. No. But I was very friendly also with Brian Wilm, what's his name? Him and I were both in the Cubs, and we both went to the Scouts, 41st Oxford Scouts. We used to meet in Church Cowley Road, the school there. And eventually, us people who had a long walk to go to school, we moved to the hall. The hall is still there, and they turned that into a school. And Mrs. Cripps, or Miss Cripps, was the headmistress who looked after us to about 10. And then I took the 11 plus at St Christopher's, but then my family moved to Hinksey. And then eventually, as I say, I went to the Tech, and then at 17 I joined the Royal Marines, and I came out in 1986. I met my wife when I was serving in Malta, and we got married in Malta. We come home. Well, my family still lived in Oxford, lived in Lake Street. They lived there till they died. And I got a brother lives at Rose Hill, another one lives this side, and one lives down at Birmingham area. But we lived in Portsmouth, but I used to come home and see the family occasionally. Yeah. And then in 1971, I got transferred to the Naval Career Service, and I got sent to Hartlepool. You couldn't put in for moving until 3 years had elapsed. One night the boss came in and said, MOD wants to speak to you. So, and they said, we want you to take over the Oxford Careers office. I said, when you want to know by? They said 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So when I saw my wife, I said, look, I'm not happy there. She said, you're not. So I said, right. And they moved me down. Well, they didn't know that I came from Oxford. Or somebody hadn't looked at my papers anyway. So I came back to Oxford to live. And,
so you got the return home.
So we live at Stanford on terms, and we've lived there ever since, 35 years now, or 36 years now actually. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but
so you've returned like a frog to where you were spawned.